Hello and welcome. It's lovely to have your company. Really excited about this hour. Really excited. Helen, it's amazing to work with. See, we've worked together, but my memory's about this big. I'm rubbish. It's been a long time though, Helen.
It was. But it's a couple of years ago. It was my very first show. Oh. And I was just saying, it was as cold as it was today in the studio. But we've got long sleeves on this
We can't even blame winter, can we? It's just a bit chilly. Now, you need to get on the website, right? We've got some good prices. They are going to be dispatched from the 2nd of Jan, OK? So you're going to have to wait, but it's worth the wait because we have got some seriously good prices. And I am so excited, Helen, because some of the jewellery you have brought in is sensational. Is this something you've done for a long time then, Helen, making your own jewellery?
I know, dare admit it. It's probably been nearly about 20 years now. I know, you get into it and you think, oh, I'll do this for a bit, you know, a couple of years.
Yeah.
But there's always something to make, and then you go through phases. I go through big ring phases, and then I go make things really small, you know, so there's always something,
and
you know.
The thing is about the clay, I mean, it messes with your head, does this? Because it's clay, but it's actually, it's silver, essentially,
it is silver.
Isn't it?
So it's hallmarkable, fine silver that we're going to be using today. And it's nice because it has an inherent value. You're not working with plastic or card or something. And jewellery never goes out of fashion.
Absolutely.
And you can always change it, or you can amend it, or make it a necklace longer or shorter, you know, to suit your style. So that's nice.
It is so nice. And I love that you can actually make your own bespoke pieces. And you can use so much of your craft stuff that you've already got.
Yeah, exactly. You'll recognise a lot of the stuff that we're going to be using today and think, oh God, I've still got this in a drawer, you know? So yeah, it doesn't need a huge investment to get started. Yeah, the clay costs a bit of money, but you know, the silver, and it doesn't go off, you know? So, and then you find you've got other stuff, and if you get bored with it, or you only want to do it in the summer, you can just put it away and go back to it and again another time.
Perfect.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got a lot on the show. Please get ahead. We are going to start, and please ask questions. If you're watching, you're not sure, please ask questions. Now, a massive saving. 18 quid saving, and these are beautiful books. Let me have a flick through. I must admit, I am addicted to books. I have so many craft books.
I like books. You can do a lot
books.
online, but the good thing about books is you can just look at them and you can have it next to you while you're working, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, you might not make the exact thing, but it just gives you some inspiration, you know, if you think, oh, what am I going to make today?
Yeah.
And some good basic skills. They're both two really great books. These are the last ones that we've got left now. But, you know, it's just nice ideas. And some things, you know, or things to work towards, you know.
Yes. Some of the things in here are stunning.
I know.
Absolutely stunning. Yeah, I mean, look at that. And this is the thing. Imagine making this yourself from home, not having to pay a fortune going on a jewellery making course, a silversmith course, but actually doing this from your own home and learning these wonderful techniques. Now, you have got your 2 books already busy, obviously with these loads of tips and techniques. See, I do prefer, obviously I look at things on the internet, but with the thing is, with books, with magazines, it's having that, I don't know, having that in your hands, having to actually flick through. There's something very relaxing about it as well as being inspirational. You know, I love looking at all the gorgeous pictures, and it's so much nicer when it's in real life. A lot of the techniques then are using the stuff that we've got on today's show as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it is. There's the spacer and roller set we're going to be using, you know, the stones. Yeah, you know, it's all very similar things, but as you say, you know, even if you tried making the same thing twice, it will always look a bit different. Yeah.
That's the lovely thing about this hobby as well. You know, everything is so bespoke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if you'd love to get hold of your beautiful books, only $11.98. What a good gift for yourself, quite frankly. And when you look at what you can make, I mean, are they not just sensational pieces of jewellery? Silver jewellery that you can make. That's ace. OK, if you want your books, 327 993, that's your item number. Now, next, the big blow torch. These are serious, aren't they?
I love that torch. It's my favourite torch. I'll be using it again today. It's a torch that I've probably had mine at least 10 years.
Really?
You know, if you get a really good... It is a bit more expensive, that one, compared to the other torch that we've got, but you can do everything with it. So you can do all your firing with this, and you can also do your soldering with it. So later on, if you want to start making earrings or solder your jump rings on, you can just put that on, and it's fully adjustable. It's safe to use, you know, and it's just a great torch. So maybe if you bought the beginner set last time, you think, oh God, I want to do more, or I'm doing more pieces, then that's a torch, and you don't need to fill it up very often. So,
really? Well, I suppose that's because it is a little bit bigger as well. Okay, so if you're thinking, right, getting into this or upgrading, this is definitely the one to go for. Are they easy to fill?
Yeah, very easy to fill. I've brought some gas with me, and I can show that later on. It's super easy. Once you know how to do it, it's you know, I'll show you in a minute.
Perfect. Okay, so that is your butane gas torch, your micro torch. So this is a slightly bigger one. You have got your 2 payments there of £20 if you do want to go for that one. So that is 679,783. And as Helen was saying, definitely a worthy investment there. So that's your slightly bigger one, 679,783. So this one, so that one is more of your starter one.
It's your starter. If you just wanted to have a go, you're not sure if this is going to be something you continue with, you want to have a go, then, you know, it's always a good little torch. You can fill it up. Again, it's adjustable. Cute. You know, it ignites. It does the job, and it comes with a really great super-sized block this time. Normally the box is about 1/3 of the size, but we've got some larger ones, and it means that you can also do multiple firings. So if you fired something,
that's a good idea.
And you can just want to put it aside, you can just leave it on the block and fire on a different section of it.
Excellent.
So brilliant,
That is so cool. Brilliant. Like you said, that price for starters, £15.74 if you're
we won't have this one on the... I think that's just for today. Yeah, they'll go.
That is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
£15.74. And again, if you are just getting into this, that is a brilliant way to start. 137208. As we're passing, we are passing some amazing pieces of jewellery. And it's definitely worth looking at some of these bits of jewellery while we pass.
Well, this one's a really great jewellery because it just shows that, you know, these little bits are silver. You can torch fire those all yourself, but you can put it together into a really magnificent piece.
That's so
individually,
cool.
you know, they're just making all the components, and then you put it all together, and it's just a really cute
beautiful
piece. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. And again, utterly bespoke. You know, the choice is yours, what you're doing. If you'd love to go for your gas torch and your firing block, 1574 137208. Now, next, our little old brooch kit. So, brand new today. And again, a big save price. So tell me about this, Helen, because that looks different.
There are 2 different types here. So the easy one is the bar one, which is the more chunky bar, the one at the front. So that is a solid piece of fine silver. These are handmade for us in the UK. And then you can actually just put the clay onto it, and then you can make that standard size brooch. But you may want to make a brooch that's bigger or smaller. And then you've got the other attachments that you can actually press into the clay. You can fire the whole thing, and then you can make a brooch that's a different shape, for instance. You know, that you don't want to have the bar. So this really gives you both options.
And that, I mean, I can see the hallmark print on there. So again, your fine silver. That's a really good idea. So when you are getting into this, it's nice to have good fine. You want good findings. You're working with silver. You need good findings, don't you? Okay, if you'd love to go for that, you've got a big save price on this. You're saving £5.91, only £14.99 there. That is 147606. Next, you've got your inscribing kits. So with these all double-ended tools, of course. So you've got you've got 3 of your double enders, and then you've got 1 of your large ball tools, and then that's a beautiful. That's
again,
a beautiful
made by
little
the same
finish.
company that designed the brooch. So again, that's a fine silver piece, and it's specially made for the silver clay. So what it is, if you know you're starting out and you're not too good at the loops or the bails, but you don't want to drill a hole, then that's just great. Just push that into the clay. It's got like that cross on it, so it has a bit of grip to it. It's marked 999, and then you have a beautiful polished bail on just your simple pendant.
That's gorgeous.
So
Absolutely gorgeous. And I think everything, it just looks such good quality. And of course with these, you're marking, you put, oh, look at that. Look at that. You're marking. Obviously, that's not been done with these, has it? That's been done with a
no,
print.
that's just a stamp. Yeah, that's a stamp. But you could engrave it. There's nothing. That's what we're going to be doing in a minute. So you could engrave it if you've got the patience to sit and do these all. But yeah.
That's so gorgeous. OK, if you'd love to get hold of this kit, you have got your 4 different tools. You've also got that beautiful bill. A good price, £14.99. 776 188. That's your item number. Now, next, this is a good idea, isn't it? Your letter and number set. Now, we don't have many of these. They do come in the lovely little box, which is gorgeous. They feel really heavy. Yeah,
they are. They're proper steel ones.
Wow.
What's nice about this set, as you can see, is clearly that there's 2mm. Now, often you get 5mm stamps, and when you're working on the silver, you're working on quite a small scale.
Yeah.
So you really don't want big letters, because if you're going to write, I don't know, Amanda or something, a longer name, you need to have the space on it. So these are just really handy. It's got the letters and the alphabet, so you can do both actually with these.
Letters and numbers. That is fabulous. Very, very weighty.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you can personalise everything. Yeah. And having, like you say, having them really teeny tiny. And that is so, at the minute, there's so many, like, bars of jewellery, just like inspirational words and things.
Yeah.
So that is a really good kit.
That's perfect. And they're very hard to find, so that's why we've got a few in, because they're really hard to find and they're quite heavy. So that's the great thing with Hochanda, you get your postage paid for. So buy heavy things.
Exactly. Exactly. If you're part of Hochanda Freedom, you need to check your basket out. This is limited stock. You aren't going to miss out if you don't check your basket out now. Be part of Hochanda Freedom, you're not paying postage. Even if you are paying postage, £2.95, that is proper weighty.
Yes.
Seriously, you will be really surprised when you get, right, they're going to sell out. 100506, that's your item number. I love those, they're so cool. Right, next is your essentials kit. Now, let me just bob that out away a second. This is lovely. Look at that. That is
you like that tool, don't you?
I do. I picked this up when we were looking before. Look how fine it is, though.
Yeah, it's a silicone tool. These will last forever, and they're great. So they're for moulding and sculpting the wet clay, but also if you've got a little nick in it or something, you just dip it in water and you can use it like an eraser, so you can get fine cracks and lines. So yeah, I work a lot with water. So yeah, a paintbrush and a silicone tip tool are my 2 essential items.
Wonderful. What else have we got in? So we got our badger balm.
Our badger balm, I love badger balm. So really, you know, there are other things that people try and sell you, but you've got to think you're mixing stuff into the silver that you're going to be firing, you're breathing the fumes in, so you want stuff that's really safe. And badger balm is the only thing that's on the market that doesn't affect the chemical structure of the clay during the firing. So I swear by it. I think I bought a new jar today, and that's probably the first one I've opened in 2 years or something.
It's going to last
It lasts a lifetime. Yeah, you don't need a bigger pot than this, and it's literally as a release agent to stop the clay sticking to your hands or to your roller and spacers or, you know, your texture mats.
Things.
Yeah,
amazing.
Brilliant.
So that's an essential. What else have we got in here?
We've got some really nice fine sandpaper. You know, just giving it a quick sand really makes a difference to your finished piece. You know, you can get it, you can smooth things down with the paintbrush on the water, but just having that little bit of sandpaper, and that's just the right grit, and again, it will last you a long time.
Wonderful.
Then we've got a work mat that's reversible, so that's got your grid on it. It's also a really good thing to keep your piece on it, so that when you're moving it around, so say you're driving your piece on the radiator or something, you know, you don't want it dropping on the floor. So I always make it a sort of a good habit to use a work mat. And then we've got the Teflon. Again, the Teflon is great. That, you know, that will last you for years and years. So again, if you're drying something, perhaps in the oven, if you haven't got a dehydrator or you don't want to use use a hairdryer, you can actually put your PMC in the oven at about 50 degrees to dry it, or on your agar, and of course it won't melt the Teflon. You don't want to put plastic in there.
Yeah. Otherwise you are going to make a stinky mess.
Yes, yeah.
Again, look at the things you can create. I mean, these are works of art that you can create. That is essential. That is beautiful.
It's a very simple, effective piece. You know?
It looks like it's been enamelled, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of enamel onto it.
That is gorgeous. OK, if you love this kit, so that is a wonderful essentials kit for you. £16.95, 698447. And I do apologise. I know it's taken us a bit to get down with so much to see. Hallmarking kit. So just because you are working with proper silver.
We were with proper silver. We talked about hallmarking before. This one sold out in the last show, so we managed to get some more in. And it's just a 999 stamp that you can press into the wet clay. So by law, anything under 7.78 grams, which is the kind of pieces that we'll be making, you can just mark them yourself.
Wonderful.
And it's nice. And if you've forgotten, you can hammer it into your finished fired piece as well.
Ah, superb.
But again, it will last a lifetime.
Yeah, that is a good tool.
Yeah.
Only £19.99. That is 56. Nope, it isn't. It's 546199. That's your item number. And again, if you've any questions about hallmarking, ask us. Email in. Helen is here live. Have you only got one show today, Helen? Or have you got another one?
Just the one today. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Right. Okay. We need
to
sit down. We need to sit down, don't we? Right, I will be quicker. Polishing kit. So obviously your heavyweight brush, your block. What do you use that for?
An agate burnisher. That's for the high shine. So it's a great kit to go with the earlier kit that we had here when we had the basics kit, which is working with the wet clay.
Yeah.
This is really about, well, if you say you've got arthritis in your wrists or something like that and you're working, then the rubber block is great for working onto a raised surface if you're working with the wet clay. It's also great for when you fired your piece, you put your piece on there, it stops it flying around to polish it. And then you polish it with the brass brush and the water, followed by the agate burnisher, which makes it nice and shiny. And then you've got a little impregnated silver polishing cloth just to give it a nice fine shine.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So another essentials kit, only £17.46. Talking a high shine.
Yes.
Have you seen that? That is super impressive.
Yes, maybe because I polished that piece extra well. Yeah.
That is amazing.
It's a fun piece. It's probably not something you can torch fire just yet, but it shows the kind of things that you can work towards.
Amazing.
So this is actually a real Chinese lantern from a plant and then covered in a PMC paste.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very cute.
That is ridiculously beautiful. And that finding on top, that is beautiful. Anyway, you've brought too many shiny things for me, you see. This is a problem. Next, another toolkit. So, what have we got here then, Helen?
Another toolkit.
Oh, I like that.
So it's great, you know, it depends what sort of crafts you've been doing beforehand. So you may not have done a lot of stamping beforehand, but this just gives you a nice starter kit. So again, you've got a work mat, you've got spacer and roller set, which you use to roll the clay out to the correct thickness.
Okay.
Now this adds on very good with the starter kit where you've got the badger balm. So you use the badger balm on the brass plate and on the rubber texture mat. So normally when you're rolling out the clay, you would put your clay on the brass plate and then roll it and then press the rubber mat on top. And it means you get a texture on the top and the bottom of your piece.
That brass plate's got a lovely texture to it.
It is a really lovely texture.
Gorgeous.
And it's not very deep, which means that you don't have to use a lot of clay. So,
amazing.
So basically, when you're rolling out the clay, you're looking to make it 1 millimetre plus the depth of your texture on the front and the back of your piece.
Amazing. That is wonderful. Again, really good kit there. Only £24.99.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, you're investing in tools. 113631, that's your item number. Next, the clay. I mean, this is what we've been talking about. And it's always messing with me, does this. It is silver. making actual proper silver jewellery out of clay. It's so exciting. And as you were saying, I mean, something like this, it does keep. You know, you are going to use every last little bit.
You're going to use every bit. And the bracelet on the front here, I know the charm's upside down. so the bracelet at the front here is actually one packet of the clay. So I made those 3 charms, I think in one of the earlier shows. So that's one packet of clay.
Wonderful.
And the same for the necklace, the heart necklace. Anybody who's seen a previous show will see that's actually also one packet of clay. So it just shows how much you can make if you work smartly with it, basically.
And that is a big piece, and it's a beautiful piece, and it feels amazing.
And it's solid. It's not. You're not skimping on it there.
No, it is absolutely incredible. Silver. This is silver, hallmarkable silver that you're working with. Now, your 2 packs, brand new today, only £22.49 in the resealable bags, of course. That is 5.6 gram. That is 969340. Obviously, each per pack, that is. You're getting 2 of those. You can go for one big one if you prefer. So if you're going for the one big pack, which obviously, if you're into it, then you'd be going for your bigger ones, wouldn't you? You have got 16.7 gram flexit silver clay there, £31.49. Again, did I say flexit? Flex, I should say. If you want that, 807-823, that's your item number. Now, last but by no means least, look at this. This is a lovely collection.
I love that kit, and I don't know, maybe it's my personal taste, but it's a great value kit where you can make a bracelet and a necklace. It's got the hook and eye fastening on it. You've got the natural gemstones there, so you've got some real turquoise, hematite. And what's that, rock crystal that's been electroplated. So they're real natural gemstones. You've got some jump rings there, some head pins. So and the clay and the box and the polishing cloth. So you know you can actually make a couple of really nice gifts out of that.
It's a brilliant starter kit as well, isn't it?
I think it's brilliant. Yeah.
And the actual bracelet. I mean, again, have a look at that. You know, if that was on. What a beautiful piece. Because the bracelet itself is a gorgeous piece, isn't it?
It's a nice solid piece. And the fact that, you know, I put something on the end as well, and it's adjustable. So, you know, it doesn't really matter what your wrist length is. So it is a nice gift as well.
It's really nice,
you can make it as long, as short as you want.
That is gorgeous. And like you were saying, the actual, I'm going to pop it that way. The actual gemstones as well are really pretty. Yeah. Really nice colour palette.
And it goes with everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm popping this right where right, stop faffing, Leona. I just want the texture on the top.
Yeah, see, that's the brass plate texture on the back of that one, so you can see the depth of that texture.
That's so pretty.
It is, yeah. So that's actually the back of the piece, you see, and you put it on the front.
Gosh. Really? 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 What's the other side of?
You see, it just shows you can make the back as good as the front. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice little flowers at first. That is so pretty. Okay, if you do want to get hold of that kit, gorgeous, gorgeous kit, £28.99. That is all you're paying there. And you get the clay in there as well. 161108. Right, our favourite bit. Not the website bit, the next bit where we sit down with Helen. But you need to look at the website in order for us to actually sit down. If you want to get anything, get on that website. It is chandler.com. You can have a good perusal around there. Oh, no, I have gone cold. You can have a good perusal around there. Find what you fancy. If you've got questions, if this is the first time you've seen this show, please email in. We've literally only got an hour with Helen today, so you need to ask your questions quick and get those orders. Remember, you've got some big savings on everything. You are waiting till the 2nd of January to get things sent out, but please check your baskets out. Okay, we're ready. Sitting down, we're ready to go. Okay, Helen, where are we starting?
Well, I was just wondering that myself, because normally we open with the firing, but I see that we haven't got a huge amount of time already today. So what I wanted to do is maybe start with the inscribing tools. So we have those today.
Super.
So again, I tend to sort of work on the rubber block as well. So we want to do this. Yeah, let's make this piece.
Super.
And then we'll fire it, and then we'll polish it, and then we've got the basics sorted. And
wonderful.
If we've got some time left, we maybe look at the brooches and things.
Superb. So you've already got your clay on there.
So what I did last night, which was very late last night, quick, as prepared as always. So basically, I used the clay, and I just rolled out the clay. So maybe I should just, if you haven't seen it before, start with that. So let's start with the beginning, otherwise.
Start with the beginning.
I know, it's handy, isn't it? We always start with the end. I think that's the thing, the firing. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, we better walk back. So here we go. Here's my badger bomb. And you can see I've already used this, God knows how many times, and it still looks like new. So I just use a little bit on my fingertips. You don't want to use too much on it, because then you end up sort of, you know,
slimy, having
a kind of beauty treatment. So here we
Which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, it's true. You do get lovely hands from this. Yeah.
Which is nice.
As you can see, this is not really hard on your hands. It's not really.
It's nice to use, because a lot of crafty stuff, it dries your hands, so it's nice to have something that will moisten a bit.
So this is what the clay looks like when it comes out the pack. So the reason it's this colour is because basically precious metal clay or silver clay is made out of pure silver particles, a non-toxic organic binder, and some water. So you can't actually be allergic to this. So if you're allergic to sterling silver, you're really allergic to the alloys in the silver.
Right.
And you don't have anything like that in here.
Right,
now,
fantastic.
You can balm up your roller if you're just not sure. So, and basically what you're doing is you're using the spacers and you're rolling it backwards and forwards. Here we go.
Superb.
So that's
the spacers obviously get it to the right depth.
Thickness, which is really important. So you're not too thick or too thin.
Yeah.
And of course, I could have rolled it out on one of these.
On the gorgeous texture plates.
Yeah, should I do that again? So I'll just
wonderful.
Do it again. So if you're not sure, you're working with the flex. The flex is a really long working time. You can just roll it up again. And as you can see, I use the palms of my hands because it's the least dry part, because I don't want cracks in the clay.
Wonderful.
So here we go. We'll do another rerun on this one.
If the clay gets too dry, what would you add to it?
I'll just add a little bit of water to it.
Right, because it's got water in, it's going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, and this is, this flex is great. So you won't really have that problem like you had with the old clay. So then I tend to, peel it off, and you can see.
Oh, wow,
our camera. I never sit still. So you can see it's got a gorgeous texture on it. Yeah, you're better at this. Here we go.
That's my bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. So you can see that wonderful texture. Obviously, we have got a texture mat. Can you see? It isn't this design, but it is a gorgeous texture mat. I love how subtle that is.
It's
beautiful. If you do want that brass plate with your texture mat, your spacer roller, all for £24.99. Again, brilliant prices today. 113631, that's your item number.
Yeah. So you've probably got lots of cutters already, or cutters that we've done on the previous show. So to cut, you literally press it down and lift. And then what's the great thing about these packs of clay is that the clay comes in a little thing like this.
Yeah.
And I just put a little bit of water with it.
Right.
Just a touch of water, wrap it up, and as you can see, all the pouches are resealable. So there's no need to buy any storage containers or anything like that. These are really good pouches, and it will stay in there for quite a while.
That's perfect.
And then basically, if it's got stuck in here, I've left my paintbrush over there. Let me see.
Do you want to Katie to...
That's okay, I'll just pull it out. You just tap it up. I tend to use a paintbrush because I'm not using a sample, and then go around it with a wet paintbrush.
And that gets any sort of frilly bits?
Yeah, gets any frilly bits, saves you on the sanding as well. And then you would just leave it on this to dry. So I left my piece to dry overnight, so I'll just scrunch this back.
Okay. So if you do that, so it needs to dry. Does it, I suppose, because if you then torch, if you give it a blast with torch and it weren't dry, could it like,
you get bubbles in it.
Right.
So basically what happens if you torch it and it's not dry, there are sort of air pockets in it and you'll get bubbles in it.
Right.
So then you just got to be careful. But now we're in the winter, of course, it's great. Everybody's got the heating on.
Yes.
Just put it on the radiator. So I didn't dry this at all. I just left it out. So this was just out last night.
Perfect. Okay.
So we've got our little piece. So what I've done is I took a little bit of sandpaper and I went round the edges. And then I basically sanded the top down. And as you can see, if you sand the top down, it all becomes a uniform colour.
Perfect.
So what we were going to do for this time was New Year's resolutions.
Oh.
So, well, it's got to fit on here, okay? So just one at a time.
All right.
So what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Save up.
Save up. So if you want
That's such a boring one for an necklace, though, isn't it?
Oh gosh, yeah. Don't
What about something like I don't know. Explore.
Explore.
You know, something.
That's a good one. Yes, that's a positive one, rather than stop eating, stop drinking.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let's just have adventures, but adventures too big. Let's go for explore.
Right. So you can just write on PMC with a pencil. Oh, here you go.
Amazing. Okay.
And for instance, I'll put my glasses on because I'm going blind now.
That always helps.
It always helps, right?
And then when you find, I'm not
actually, I can move them across a bit, so I could just get rid of this. Hang on. So
just sand it out.
Yeah, just sand it out. It's easy. So actually, I can do a better job than that. So let me just sand that away, and you're not removing much of it at all. So there we go. We can start again. Oh, I can hold the pencil.
It's cold.
It is cold. Yes.
Let's blame the freezing temperatures.
Yeah. Explore.
I'm holding my breath for you for some weird reason.
So there we go. Explore.
Nice. Okay.
And these tools. Now these tools are really. I like wooden handled tools. I don't know. I just don't like plastic.
Yeah.
And
they feel nice.
Yeah, they feel nice. And so great. So we're going to use the ball styles that's got a little ball on the end, and it's going to use the finest tip.
Super.
Now, I also use the largest tip because what you can do, and I'll maybe quickly show, when you're working with the wet clay. And say you've got something here, so this is a piece that's not been fired, but you want to add something that has got a little bit of interest, or you've got the back of something that you need to cover, then you can roll. Hold on. Oh, of course I put the water on it. That wasn't such a great idea, was it?
Was it? Is it a bit too slimy?
No, so I can get it going. There we go. So if I take a little, I'm just trying to make a little ball. You can roll a little ball.
Okay.
And then you can actually stick them on somewhere. So
if you're sticking clay onto clay, do you need anything to bind it?
You can, well, with the flex nowadays, you can just stick it on with water.
Amazing.
Or, you can just recycle your sandings and old pieces into a paste pot with some water. But to be honest, the flex does everything these days.
That's so cool. So you don't really need to even make a paste.
No. So I know this board's probably a bit large. And then what you can do is you can just hold it into place. And I see that's where I needed my paintbrush.
I can get it.
Yeah.
Yep. Right, Katie, there's a paintbrush somewhere on there. Would you be able to borrow the paintbrush?
Kit, yeah.
Even if it's just a pack shot one. I'm going to give you a reminder because you know that letter and number set. How's that doing? Okay, this is lovely. We've only got a couple literally remaining. You need to check your baskets out with that. That is limited stock. 100506 heavyweight. Excellent idea. And these are so nice and teeny tiny, 2 millimeters. 100506. That's your item number. If you want to check your baskets out on those, because they are cool. Right, we're back with you. With those, the number and the letter set then, something like this, you put them in your wet clay or...
Yeah, the wet clay.
Amazing.
Yeah, wet clay. They're just pressing. So you just got to remember where they're going to go. So I'm just going to press this down. And you can see, this makes a really... I know I've done it a bit large now, but it makes a really cool, these dimples. And in fact, you can see I also used it for the tail.
Can I just pick it up?
I also used it for the tail on the...
Oh my gosh,
things.
That is so cool.
So you can just add a little thing, and you can make multiple little balls. You can make a theme out of it, or you can do it from the heart of flowers. So actually it's really quite useful, and you can see I did it for the tail of the seahorse as well.
When that's actually fired up, that is going to look so cool.
It is, and then for the people that have got the liver of sulphur gel, so we had the liver of sulphur gel in a previous show where you can get it's like the antiquing solution.
Yeah.
It's on the website, and then you can use that to highlight it, so you can make it darker in the middle and polish it up.
Amazing.
So again, there's so much you can do with this tool set. apart from just inscribing.
Okay.
So, right, back to inscribing. I'm going to use the finest tip, and the great thing about this is with the PMC is that you're actually pressing down into the clay. You're not scratching it away.
Right.
So you're pressing down, and you'll see when I do it.
So
there's nothing coming away at all.
Oh my gosh, this is interesting. So you could use, so if you were a bit unconfident writing something, you could literally use one of your rubber stamps. You could do so much with this, couldn't you?
Yeah, yeah, it is. And sometimes you want to write something by hand.
Yeah.
You know, if you're doing something simple like that and you don't want it to look mass-produced, you might think, oh, you know what, I'll just do that by hand.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're doing a range of jewellery, you know, if you're doing dates or something, then you may want to use a stamp set.
Yeah.
So you can
and then you could, obviously, you could stamp into it, but then stamp on it, but then actually inscribe it and put more detail on it and make it your own then, couldn't you?
Yeah, it's true. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's making it look handmade but not homemade. You want it to look professional but not, you know, mass-produced.
Exactly. You want it to be unique. Gosh, that looks easy.
So, yeah, so I've just gone over it, and I think just being able to write with the pencil on it, so you can see that now.
So would the pencil, obviously when you
just
fire
burns
it,
away.
that pencil dust, oh, and it does look amazing already, does that?
So, yeah, it's really, really simple to do. And as you can see, there's no scratching. You're literally pressing it into it because it feels like slightly spongy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's after it's been dried. So dry it for, you know, just stick it on radiator overnight, and then it's spongy enough to actually start to actually mark in the actual clay. That looks amazing.
Okay, what you can also do is use the stamp set on one side. So you've stamped something, and then you just use this once it's dry to add maybe a date or a message or something.
You could put someone's name on one side and then, you know, the inspirational text on the other, and names on both sides. I mean, there really is... the world's your oyster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally. And they are, I mean, you've probably seen them, you know, the blocks that they're selling with all their names and inspirational quotes and everything. And they're not cheap. I mean, you could make your own. And the thing is, with something like this, you can personalise them, you can make them to order. And that's the lovely thing about this. If you're making things to sell, you know, the amount of jewellery that's in front of me that is just divine. If you're making things to sell, this is a lovely hobby to get into. And I think there's so many places you can take this hobby, isn't there?
It is. It's unlimited, and every piece is different, you know, which is so nice. Which is, you know, it really is. So this is our famous drill bit. I know everybody loves it. I think everybody must have got one by now. So it's the drill bit, as you saw. I put the, I'll just put this back in again.
If you do want this, we have got this. I know we didn't show you, but we've got a lot on the website. The details are there, though. 459-571, that's your item number. You get your drill, and you've also got your filing set as well, $22.49.
Yep, so the drill bits, as we saw earlier, you get 5 drill bits.
Super.
They're all in here. So it does your earrings, your pendants, and your charms. And then it also comes with the filing attachments. Brilliant. You know, later on, if you're going to do something that's got a negative space in it, say you're making something like this, then you can file on the inside as well. So, and as long as you use them on the dry clay, they will last you forever.
Amazing.
So again, so we had, so if I'm going to put my hole in it, I just mark my hole up. So you wanted a couple of mil from the edge. And then again, the rubber block, as you can see, used a lot for drilling holes.
Oh, that's superb.
And I'm just going to, and literally, it's no pressure at all. You can see the drill bit just pulls itself through.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant. And it gets a really nice hole. So, you know, you sometimes see people trying to use a toothpick or something else, but this just makes a perfect size
and
hole.
It looks professional.
It does, yeah.
And obviously you're getting loads of extras in there, only $22.49.
Yeah, it's my favourite tool.
That is such a good price. 459-571, that's your item number. All those little teeny tiny bits, That's what you make to do this, isn't it? You know, all the bits that have
all these
come off.
tiny bits that we got left over, as you can see. I make very little paste. My thing is, like, I'd rather use fresh clay than recycled clay.
Yeah.
So I just don't waste it. So hence I use a lot of the wet paintbrush. I just work very neatly and very tidily.
Yeah, yeah.
So here we go. So we've done our little pendant.
That's really pretty.
And I'll now go and torch fire it. So if I just turn the lights down for a minute.
Do want your torch frying, you've got your 2 different torches, the big one or the little one. The little one, you do get that big block as well if you're going for that. Freedom price is amazing. Only £15.74. 137208 is your item number. If you do want the big torch, the details are zooming in as we speak. You've got 2 flexi-buys on this one, 2 payments of just £20. That is 679783. Right. So what do we do? Do we need to drop the lights?
yeah, in a minute.
Not yet.
We talked earlier about the gas, so we'll talk about the gas quickly. So all the torches are the same. So you get the main torch itself, and then you've got the base, like the one behind you. So you put them 2 together. So it's got a hole in the base. Or so I just keep mine together. I don't really take mine apart.
Yeah.
Then you've got the normal gas lighter fuel that you can get in any sort of, a tobacconist's or DIY store.
Yeah.
You don't need, normally it comes
with... You get all them attachments.
All these attachments, which just confuse me no end.
Yeah.
So you don't need any of those, fortunately. So you just use it as it comes.
That's brilliant.
And the easy way to do it is you just press it down, and you can see as soon as it bubbles over, then it's full.
Super.
And you'll also feel that the base of the thing gets cold.
Yeah.
So very, very simple. You don't need to refill them very often.
Wonderful.
But, it's good to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Because when I got my torch, I'm like, oh, where do I buy this gas? Depends, if you don't smoke, you just don't know, do you really?
No, absolutely. I haven't got a clue. But no, it's nice to know it's easy as well.
Yeah, it's so easy. And as I said, this torch, as you can see, has been well in use. I must have had this at least 10 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
And all the teaching that I've done with it, it's been used by hundreds of people by now.
So it's not literally just your torch. It's
no,
yeah. That is really good. See, that just shows the quality. Two payments, £20. If you are going for that today, 679783. Your block's rather well loved as well.
Yes, yeah, I know. That's the thing I love about PMC. You buy it once, it lasts forever. All you need to do is buy
and that's
plate.
Even with the finished products. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. What you make is going to last as well.
Yeah, and bits that you like. And then, oh, my little birdhouse. And you know what? I made that in about 5 minutes. No. That is a good example. That is flex, and it's just pushed together with water.
Oh,
that's
my God, grief.
It was like, okay, I'm testing this new product. I just want to see how good it is. And it's just really cute. And then I did another one. So I did a bigger one as well.
That is absolutely beautiful.
And that's been on a long chain. That someone decided, oh, I love your chain, so of course gave away the chain. But I do wear them, I do road test them. The little leaf there is just a bit of paste on a geranium.
No way.
Yes, I know, my little plant, it started, that was the original mummy plant, and I propagated it every winter. But
that's the paste on the actual leaf.
Yes, yeah, it was a whole pot, I think, yeah. But I just love it.
That is phenomenal.
Well, it just shows what I said earlier. You go through this phase where you make things really big and then you make things really small. So this one I probably made it, I don't know how many years ago, about 8 years ago, and that one I made during the summer. So I'm now going through my smalls phase.
See, I bought some from Glastonbury a couple of years ago, paid a fortune for it. And honestly, it just reminds me of that. And thinking you could make it yourself. Yeah, that is just so pretty, so pretty. Right, back to you. Oh, I love these.
I know. So this is where it is.
That reminds me of the green man.
Gel. Yeah, it does. Yeah. And then if you don't like the gel, so that's where you've made it black. So if you've antiqued and you go, you know what, I don't like it, you can just burn it off. So you heat it up with the torch, and PMC will always go back to its white state.
Right.
So if you don't like it, go, oh, you know what, I like the original better. Then you can just take it off.
I love that. I love it with the gel, because that gives it almost like a pewter look, doesn't it?
It does give it a bit of a goth.
Yeah, that is ace.
If you're wearing some velvet or something in the middle of winter, that's just a really lovely, lovely piece. And the other one's maybe more summery.
phenomenal. If you do want the gel, I mean, it's nice to see the variation, you know, before and after. You are getting your 2 pots of your antiquing gel, and that's what this has got on it to give it that gorgeous colour. Only £12.90. 308738. Oh, there's so many gorgeous things. Anyway, sorry, Helen. I could spend the hour just looking at all the goodies you brought to us.
I know, that's probably why they're slightly more out of reach, yeah, but...
Keep them away from that presenter.
So, right, to turn on the torch, it's very simple. You just turn the lock off, just turn on the gas. We just need to turn the lights down a bit. If you just turn the... Has anyone got the light switch?
Yeah, he's on it.
Here we go.
Our Andy's on it.
Andy's on it. So you can see we're using the tip of the flame here.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do is just gently heat it up.
So that's the hottest bit, is it?
Yeah. So yeah, that's about the size of the flame. You don't need to go mad on these things. So what we say is you can torch fire something that's the size and thickness of a 50p piece.
Right, okay.
So all the pieces that you're making with that sort of clay, packet of clay, you can torch fire.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
When you get into it and you're doing your bigger pieces, then do you have to start using ovens and kilns and
Kilns
stuff?
and thing. You get to the kiln point. But there again, look at that frog necklace we looked at earlier. You can actually make lots of components and then put them together. So you don't actually... you can do a lot without a kiln, to be honest.
When you think about it, if you're clever with it.
Yeah.
So with the firing, use the firing block, I presume, because that's going to keep all your surfaces
Yeah, so this stays cool. So you can see I can touch this. Now this is, we've got a little bit of smoke coming, so that's the binder. So that's just a cellulose. So, you know, okay, you shouldn't sniff it too much, but, you know, it's totally non-toxic. So here's the binder burning off.
Right, fabulous. So don't panic.
No, don't panic. And you'll see now, it was a little bit black around the edge, so anything that's dirt or the badger balm, that burns off at this point.
And I suppose the pencil as well, of course.
Yeah, the pencil's now gone. Yeah, well spotted. And you can see the edges slightly curling.
Yes.
Now, this is where it starts to fire. So from this point is where you time, you can really see it now, you time a minimum of 2 minutes.
Right.
Now, I haven't got my phone on here.
Yeah.
But basically, you'll see when it goes
Have
down.
we a way of timing it?
Time it on the clock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, use the clock. So,
excellent.
So you can see that pale orange glow. So you're not going for the red. If you're doing it red, then you're melting it. Because don't forget, silver melts just under 1,000 degrees.
Right.
So yeah, so this torch goes up to 1,000 degrees. So if it looks silver and shiny, you think, oh great, I'm making it silver and shiny. No, you've melted it. You've gone too far.
Right, okay.
So that's a good point to do.
Isn't it funny, yeah, because that's what I think, oh, amazing.
I'm making it silver.
Yeah, but actually you're melting your silver.
Yeah, silver is naturally white.
Right.
So the natural state of silver is white because that's how it is mined. And then basically it will always go back to white. So that's why I said earlier on with the liver of sulphur gel, you know, you can just burn it off as many times as you like. Or if you've worn something, now we're working here with fine silver, so you can't be allergic to it.
Yeah.
But it may tarnish mainly because of your perfume or your hairspray or your body lotion.
So something that you're
using. Just burn it off.
Amazing, how cool is that?
Yeah, or you can get the silver polish out. But,
or burn it.
Yeah, I just, if I'm doing something really intricate like those leaves, I just burn it, to be honest.
So your way of cleaning, just get the torch out.
Yeah.
That isn't with everything at home. It's a minute and a half so far.
Okay, good.
I love it because, you can literally see that flame. It looks, I must admit, on TV, it looks redder, like it does on that screen, than it does in real life.
Yeah.
In real life, that is more of an orangey glow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas on that picture there, to me, on that telly, it looks quite red.
Right, but this is a good one.
It's very cool. So just circle motions, just keep those circle motions going.
Yeah, you're just keeping the piece heated. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything. And, I get a question I get asked a lot, apart from how tall are you, Leonie? If anybody has watched Price Drop, no, you don't have to fire it on both sides, just the one side. So sometimes people ask me, do you have to flip it over and fire it again?
Yes, that is what I was thinking.
No. So
that's brilliant. So it's just fire it on one side and Bob's your uncle.
It's a sintered metallurgy. So basically what's happening here is that we saw the water burn off, the binder burn off, and what's happening here is the little silver particles are fusing back together to create that metal structure.
Fantastic. It's so, like, the science of it is so interesting as well, isn't it? You know, so are we on 2 minutes yet? We must be, mustn't we?
On 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely on 2 minutes.
The brush and the burnisher, please.
Coming up to 3 minutes now, actually. We kind of missed it.
That's a good point. You can fire PMC as long as you like. You can do 3 days if you like. You can just carry on. So the thing, that's a
if you find that bit really, really
therapeutic, yes. So that's another thing. So the firing time. So from the point it turns that orange, it's 2 minutes.
Right.
But there is no maximum time.
Oh, that's good to know.
And if you start it, I don't know, you need to do something, or somebody at the door, you know, stop and start again. You can fire this as many times as you want. In fact, the more you fire it, the stronger it becomes.
Right, so it's not a problem. Would you let it cool and then refire, then refire?
You can cool it. What I do, I tend to have a bowl here, as you can see, because I tend to quench it. Because you know what? You leave it on the torch spot, you look at it and you think, I wonder if it's dry or not. What are you going to do? You're going to burn your finger out. You go, oh, maybe it wasn't quite cooled yet. So now I just place it.
Obviously something I do.
Yeah. So exactly. So what I do now is I just put it into a bowl of water, and as soon as it goes into the water, you can feel it's metal.
Isn't that cool?
You know, it goes.
It's just that magic.
Yeah. Don't take a risk. You'll end up with a handful of blisters.
It's like magic. Because I used to work many moons ago with, you know, my polymer clays or your plastic clays. When you get something like this, it's like, oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it is.
It's so substantial as well. Now, if you do want, we are that wonderful torch. If you want the torch, the first one that you've seen on your screen there, that's the smaller torch with the block. That's £15.74. That is 137208. So not the one we were just seeing, it's the smaller one. Have a look on the website for the picture. If you do want the big one, the details are zooming in as we speak. That is 679783, £39.99. It's a good investment, is that. And as Helen was saying, hers has lasted years. 2 payments, £20. Okay, next.
So, okay, well, you can do the next bit. Here we go. Put Leonie to work. There we go. So I was just using a brass brush. You can also use a stainless steel brush, in which case you don't need to use the water. But with the water, so just use a damp brush.
Okay.
And as you can see...
literally?
Yeah, just brush it, and that's why the rubber block is so nice on your wrists. So what you're doing is you're smoothing the surface here. And it's shrunk 10%, so hence I made that hole a little bit bigger.
Right.
But,
you know, always bear that in mind.
Yeah, so bear that in mind.
It's like magic.
And the brass brush is nice and soft as well, so it's not going to scratch the silver.
So you're just taking off.
No, you're not taking anything off. All you're doing is smoothing the surface.
Really?
There is absolutely nothing. The white is just an uneven textured surface, and all you're doing is smoothing.
Wow.
So there's no residue on it. You know, people think, the white is the residue. No, there's nothing to come off at all.
Oh, that's amazing.
So do that one. Yep.
So how much do you need to do?
Yeah, and then you can just dry it off a bit, because we're using the water, and just use another part of the block. And then you're going to use the agate burnisher and just use it like you're colouring in. So you're not using the sharp point.
Right.
So you're using it like you're colouring in.
So that's before.
Yeah, that's before. And
how clever is that?
Oh, you're genius, Leonie. Genius.
I don't think that's me. So as if I'm colouring in but not using the tip, so just like that.
Yeah, just press it down, and then it will go even more shiny. And the reason we don't use the tip is because this is a piece of natural agate gemstone, and that's actually harder than metal. But it means that sometimes if you do have a small scratch, you can get it out as well. But
I'm not as good at this. I keep falling off my block.
Yeah, and if not, the most important thing to do actually is the sides of it. You know when somebody looks at a piece of jewellery, the first thing they do is flip it over, and if the back's not quite so finished, then you get like, did you make this yourself?
How rude.
That's what people do, isn't it? And the first thing people do is look at the sides. So just polishing the side, even if you don't like a high shine finish, it just makes it finished.
That looks so fab, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Again, that's a little bit like magic, because it twinkles now in the light.
Yeah. You're doing a great job.
This is just addictive. Because I think even if you don't like shiny, I bet you make everything shiny at first. It's just because it's addictive.
Shiny. You go through phases, isn't it? You go through everything shiny, and then you go through everything black. Yeah. And it's the same with gemstones. You started with gemstones, you go mad, and you use all these multicoloured things, and then you realise, actually, just neutral
it's just
ones.
one, just one gem, mate. Stop it. Okay, shall I give that back? I've not done a great job on the shiny on the front, but around the edges, can you see the shiny on the edges?
Yes. Look at that. Yeah,
but like you were saying, it looks good, shiny on edge and not so on the front.
Yeah, and also sometimes you can just polish up the top and then take it down to matte again. So, you know, you can
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can do that.
So you've got that choice as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just getting more of a hang of it, isn't it?
Yeah, so you just, you need to do more colouring in, yeah.
More colouring in. More colouring in. I think, could you do that without the block, that bit?
Yeah, you can do, but the block gives it, just stops the friction.
Ah, okay.
So it does, and it's just better, it's just easy,
So it's a bit easier.
It's just getting the hang of it, isn't
it?
It
is getting the hang of it.
Doing something different.
That's fabulous, though. That is ace. I really like that. Now, if you do want your block, what we're showing there, yep, you've got your rubber block, you've got the burnisher, you've also got the brush there. Remember, you do get the cloth as well, the mini polishing cloth. All of that for just $17.49. 813073, that's your item number. We've got 3 minutes left. Is there anything you wanted to show us in 3 minutes?
In 3 minutes, oh gosh. So what I wanted to say is, so this piece, you could probably make two or three out of that
Wow.
one. Yeah, so you'll have to...
That is phenomenal, because something like that, it feels amazing. You can personalise it if you've got those little stamps.
It's not flimsy.
No.
Yeah, no.
They are proper, I mean, it's silver. You are making silver. It is just incredible. Obviously, there's so much you can do. So you've got all sorts here. With this one, I mean, look at that. Look at that, that is gorgeous.
That's really simple. So that's stamped, and that's just got a bit of cold resin in it. It's just resin, and I'm sure people have got resin.
Oh, that looks so
And you can
cool.
see, actually, that's been knocked about, gosh, I made that piece about 6 years ago or something.
Really?
Now, that has never been polished, but it's still shiny.
That is beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you want to show us 2 minutes?
In the last 2 minutes, so, you know this lovely brooch bar?
Yes.
So what you do is, as you can see, it's got the ridges on here.
Ah, yeah.
So for speed of things, you can either, you know, if I just did something, let me see. So moulds, people probably got moulds at home easily. So you just use a bit of clay, especially with these flexible moulds. With the moulding, you don't want to overfill the mould.
Would you put any of the badger balm in the mould?
Not in these ones, no, unless you've got a rigid one.
Yeah.
And then you literally push the clay in, take it out, and there you go. You've got a perfect leaf. So what you can do is you can build things up on this brooch bar. So if that's your first brooch that you're making, so I'm just going to put this on here just to give it something to hold on to. So I'm just going to quickly...
So what about gluing it onto that? What?
Just use paste or just push it on with the clay.
Wow. And that is it again. So it's so simple, isn't it?
It is simple,
This is the wonderful thing about this hobby, that, you know, obviously when you've got your essential tools, your beginning tools, you really can use everything that's in your stash.
Yeah, yeah.
And
most crafters have got plenty in the cupboard.
We've only got seconds left.
Okay, but anyway, that gives you the idea that you build things up.
Yeah.
You fire it, and then once it's fired, you just fire this bit, you have the pin with it, and you put the pin into the end here.
Perfect.
And you just push it together with a pair of pliers.
Wonderful.
And then you've got a perfect brooch.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Squeeze that
in. Helen, thank you ever so much. That is such a cool show. Your jewellery is beautiful.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Please check your baskets out. Have a lovely Christmas, Helen.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Oh, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We've got more for you.